Welcome back to Straight Outta Weston, Weston-super-Mare's #1 podcast. It has felt like ages since I was last in these, well, not in this studio because this is a brand new studio. Before we start, I just want to say a massive thank you to these local companies. Because of their support, we've been able to get this new studio. We're living the dream at the minute. We've got a really nice studio, good size. So yeah, massive thank you to these sponsors because with those help,
So glad it's not just me that struggles with this. When I'm doing the live videos at the beginning of the game. Blah, blah, blah.
Right, take two. So with the help of these sponsors, I'm able to do what I'm doing and smash these podcasts out. But it's great to be in the new studio, so thank you guys. And my first guest today is someone who I've wanted to chat to and get in the studio for ages, but they're always busy. So let's give a round of applause to Tim, the voice of the Optima. It is Optima and it's...
Optima,
yeah. I was calling it Optimum.
Optimum, yeah.
I'm always doing that. But yeah, Tim, great. I finally got you in here.
Thank you.
You've been on my list for ages, and I know you're busy because obviously when you're doing what you do, I'm doing other things. But anyway, we've season's finished.
Yes.
You've got a bit of time.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, let's grab hold of him, get him in, and ask him some questions because when I first met you, there was a few questions I was about, why, what, when. So, we're going to go through that. So I've got a couple of questions to ask you if you're all right.
Yeah, cool.
We'll crack on. So being the voice of the Optima, how did you get into that? Was it like you walked past the football team, like stadium, and then you're like, voice wanted, or was it, how do you do that?
It's quite a funny story, to be honest. I mean, I used to work for the local newspaper, Weston-super-Mare, and the entertainment industry was my kind of section that I looked after. So I looked after all the theatres, the Playhouse and the Hippodrome, and the football club was one of the ones, and I've always been interested in local football. And I phoned them up, and the secretary at the time, Richard Sloan, fantastic man, turned around and said, yeah, let's have a meeting. But can I just say, you've got a lovely voice. And I was like, okay, yep, let's have a meet. We'll do that. Yeah, no worries. And we met, and I thought, here we go, I've got a nice bit of running for some advertising, because obviously advertising always helps pay the bills, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we had a nice meeting, and he said, I know I said it on the phone, but you have got a lovely voice. Apologies if it's not so lovely today, because obviously I'm still suffering with a bit of chest infection, but
it's a bit croaky.
It's a bit croaky, yeah. So it's all the shouting at the end of the season. But he kind of said, we might have something for you at the football club. And I was like, okay. And he said, yeah, we've got a few issues with our current announcer. He likes to leave the mic on and swear a few times if Weston don't perform very well.
Yeah.
To which obviously, being a local community, you don't want that because obviously kids go and things like that. Obviously you can't stop the chanting, but I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And he said, we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
A year later, I then get another phone call saying, can you come down? We need you. I'm like, okay. Nice. So I'd completely forgotten, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, we met again. Again, I still didn't get any advertising out of the football club. And but they said, this is what we want to do. We want to introduce fun things to encourage people to come down to the game.
Yeah.
Because Weston, it's a massive population. The capacity of the ground is 3,500. And we want to fill that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And I think when I joined, we were probably getting about attendances around 250, 300 every home game.
Really?
Which, for a small town, we need more.
Yeah. You should be filling it, really.
Absolutely. I understand that people follow their teams, their Premiership teams, their Bristol City, Bristol Rovers, all of that. But the local football club needs them as well. So if there's not a game that they can go to, like a Liverpool or a Man United, because kids are so brought up on the big winning teams, they forget about the local teams, and that's why it's so hard for these local clubs to survive. So I was like, okay, we'll see what we can do. So I got thrust in straight away. I was given a mic and a CD player, and they said, right, this is the CD that goes around on the disc. And I'm like, do we not have playlists? Do we not have random music?
Yeah.
And they were like, nope. And I'm like, that needs to change.
What was it, like a Now 23 or something like that? You know, like one of these random various tunes.
From memory, there was a bit of Phil Collins. There was the best of Phil Collins, which isn't bad, but it's a bit depressing at a football club.
Yeah.
And I think there was a classical album as well. So it was literally like, it was a 6 CD changer.
Yeah.
So if anybody doesn't know what CDs are, they're horrible discs,
Rounds.
like PlayStation discs and stuff like that. Yeah. And if you scratch them, you can't play that song ever again. So I was like, okay, well, that's the first thing we need to change. We need to stop people listening to the same songs time and time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously, you know, I love music. I'm pretty sure 99% of the population of the world love music, but there gets time where you hear the same song over and over and over.
And it's a bit of an earworm, and you're like,
absolutely,
not this again. Come on, we must be able to afford another CD.
I mean, a prime example is me and my eldest, William, who's here today. We went to watch Spider-Man No Way Home, I think it was. Homecoming. And Annie Lennox was on it. And it was the same song about 8-9 times.
Nice, yeah.
And you just kind of go, I'm in a cinema and I'm listening to the same song over and over. So, yeah, we just wanted it all to kind of change, yeah. So I was like, right, can we get Spotify? Yeah, we can get Spotify. Have we got a PSR license? Yes, we got this. Right, perfect. Let's go from there.
Let's smash them tunes out.
Let's smash them
tunes good. Let's
Absolutely.
Get that crowd pumping.
Let's get everything. Because the thing with the music, you've got to think of the person who's been at the football club since they were a child.
Yeah.
And now they're in their 70s. And you've got to think about the kids of today.
Yeah, like a bit of a mix.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I say, what caters for everyone's music taste.
Exactly. I mean, there are certain songs that obviously you've got to be a little bit careful with because of expletives and stuff like that. But I think if you play it safe, you'll be all right.
Yeah, no, that's a good,
There are certain songs that have slipped through the net.
I was just literally going to ask, have you ever played one and it's gone, you and this and...
I haven't. However, a couple of weeks prior to the season finishing, one of the players got onto my laptop and put on one of his favourite songs, and Ed Bliss, love him, ran up to me in the bar and said, what are you effing doing playing this? And I went, what do you mean? I'm looking at my phone going, oh, hang on a second. Sorry, I was my watch. I was looking at my phone going, well, I didn't put that on my playlist. So I've gone out and the players there are going, like that. And literally they got into my laptop and just put on this song. And I'm like, no, that's not me. To which Ed was like, I am so sorry. And I was like, I would never put stuff on like that. No. I always look for like the radio edit version stuff. So we have had Houdini from Eminem. We've then found the radio edit version because then all of that effing and jeffing is all cut out. And then people can at least enjoy the music without the need for the swearing.
Effing and jeffing.
Effing and jeffing. So yeah, that was kind of how I got into the football club. From there was from The Voice. And yeah, we've just kind of imploded from then. And you know, we had a fantastic turnout for the game. I think it was 1,970.
Wow.
But we still need more.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if we get more attendance, we can afford better players. We get better players. We go up higher in the league. We get promoted. We can then play the big teams like the Southend, the Gatesheads.
Yeah.
All of those more regularly. It brings money into the town, which is what we all want. It brings people to the town because Weston sadly did lose its way a little bit. With kind of the closing of shops. Yeah. And we just want that kind of atmosphere back in the town. And it, you know, if somebody from Birmingham's come down for the weekend and something just stuck for something to do, come to the football club.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
So,
how long have you been the voice of the Optima?
I think it's about 10, 11 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm probably corrected on that, but I'm pretty sure it was when I did a couple of shows about 10 years ago. So when William was a couple of years old. So I'm pretty sure it's then because I've worked at the Mercury a long, long time ago.
Really?
And I've had a few jobs since then. So I'm pretty sure it's 10 years.
10 years. That's some good going, is that?
It is. And it's really weird. I mean, I've seen managers come and go. And some of the managers are very, very like, oh yeah, we love the music, we love this. One particular manager wanted, do you hear the people sing as the walkout music? So from Les Mis, which I was like, okay, it's nice when it gets going, but it's a bit of a depressing song.
Yeah.
So, we've had several bits of walkout music, but I think the walkout music we've got now, Mighty Wings from Top Gun, is an absolute brilliant one.
Yeah, definitely.
I did a podcast during COVID with, they're called We Are Footballers or something like that, and we are the only football club in the whole of the country to have a film theme tune for a walkout music.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, I'll take
Good
that.
pick, yeah.
Good check. And, Mighty Wings, Seagulls, it's all about flying together and aiming to get that top spot.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's, we've grown as a club, and like I said, from where we were when I started to 350 attendance to going over 1,500, which is what we've been this season. It's been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Can you walk us through a typical day? So when you obviously get to the stadium, I know you need to set your equipment, but can you walk us through your typical match day?
So we always stop at a Bailey's to have a lovely bit of bacon roll from Bailey's Kitchen, just basically to warm the vocals up. And then it's literally just setting the equipment up, testing all the kind of sounds, because we've got gold tunes now, which is what we didn't have at the football club before. So I'm testing all the gold tunes, making sure they're all okay, making sure the levels are all okay. The problem with the stadium, and we keep trying to sort it, is basically the sound levels where I sit is completely different to the sound levels where, the big stand is.
Yeah.
So to try and get the right levels for everywhere is really ridiculous. And I mean, we've got one speaker in the Thatcher stand, which is held up by a couple of wires. But if we got more speakers and more surround sound and stuff like that, that place would be absolutely rocking.
Yeah, be booming.
Yeah. So we do that. Then talk to the groundsman, Sam, who's obviously taken over from the late Bob Glaskett, and kind of see how he's been. Then I get a list of players' names, which might be a little bit difficult to announce.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this season's been okay. But yeah, I just kind of warmed the vocals up with that. A couple of glasses of water, get ready to go, and then set the camera up and wait till 1:30, and then the playlist starts.
Do you get nerves? Like when it's getting near the time, do you get a bit of a build up of nerves? Or because obviously you're a bit of an expert now and you've been doing it for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Or is it just like, let's do it, it's another game, let's crack on?
As a fan, which I've become over the last couple of years, it's nerve-wracking because there's been some really, really good and games that we want to win.
Yeah.
Because, it could take us to the FA Cup first round, which, is big money for Weston. There are moments where you kind of think, I don't really want to be here because you could be feeling under the weather, but you've got to keep that kind of passion and you've got to keep that drive going, because at the end of the day, you've got over 1,000 people listening to everything you say, and they're the paying customer.
Yeah, that's true. Customer's always right.
Absolutely.
You want to keep them happy.
Absolutely. So there have been times where I've been nervous when we've played big teams. I mean, a few years ago we had Western Legends versus Manchester United Legends.
Yeah.
And one of the Manchester United Legends was a hero of mine, Keith Gillespie. And that was incredible, reading out his name on the team sheet and then announcing him coming on the playing list. I mean, the man played for my team, which is Newcastle. He, just absolutely amazing. And I met him and he was fantastic. But that was the only time I think I've got Mr. Kiki. Yeah, I've gone. I couldn't get his name out.
I'd be useless at that.
And then there are other times where, if we've lost a member of the staff, sadly, or if we had Liam Shepherd a couple of years ago where we lost him. And I still find when we do the remembrance games, they're still very, very difficult because both my grandparents fought in the war. And straight away you go back to when they were alive and
memories of them.
Absolutely, I've started having to pre-record it because you just all your emotions just flood. And like I said, you've got to be the voice that people hear.
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks ago, we had a situation at the football club where somebody'd collapsed, and I've still got to be professional. I then found out it was actually one of my friends that had collapsed.
Oh, wow.
And you've still got to be professional.
Yeah, that's tough.
It really is,
That
because
is tough.
you're trying to get everyone's attention, but also your mind's racing because I can hear everything that's going on with the security and with kind of like the health thing. And when you hear she's not making it,
Yeah.
that's difficult.
And you've got to carry. It's not like you can stop and go and check on them.
No.
You've still got your job to do.
I've still got my job to do. I've still got to make people aware of what's happening. And that was really tough a couple of weeks ago. Thankfully, my friend has made a full recovery, but yeah, the remembrance games are still very, very hard. Thankfully, we haven't had any for a couple of years because we've been away, so it's been someone else's duty. So yeah, it's those are the tough times.
How does your voice, the voice of the Optima? How does it feel being the voice? How does it make you, like, on a personal level? I know you do it professionally, and you're doing, but for you, Tim, how does it feel being this voice? Giving the shout outs to people. I know when I've been at games, you do happy birthdays and people are cheering you. I think when you announce the names of the players, and that almost gives them a bit of a boost. But how does it make you feel?
A little bit humble
Yeah.
that I've been given this opportunity, because I'm in a WhatsApp group of announcers all across the UK. So, we've got Man United's announcer, we've got Leeds announcer and stuff like that, and Burnley and all that lot, and they're all in this WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
We are a select few that have been chosen for that role.
Yeah.
There will come a time where I go, I can't do anymore. At the moment, that's not coming, I don't think. It's just very, very good. Like I said, with some of the players that come and walk on the pitch, we've had some great names that have been on that pitch, and some absolute legends. Like I said, Keith Gillespie, David May even played on the Optima pitch as well a few years ago. So those kind of moments kind of make you feel a little bit, wow,
Yeah. Wow,
I'm in such a position.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Pretty much like you, when you go out in town, you're spotted because of who you are. I'm not spotted because of my voice, but people recognise it.
Yeah.
So, prime example, I was going to, where was I going? Guernsey a couple of months ago, and I was at the airport, and somebody went, why do I reckon? And they turned around and went, are you the voice of the football club? And that was incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But that's one person in 10 years. So, but, I think I'd like to think I'm more than just a voice. My dad has always said that I've got a beautiful face for radio.
Definitely.
So I'm trying to see if that's a compliment. Obviously, I've done some work on the face to make it look a little bit better, in case that other opportunity comes along, and for obviously podcasts like yourself.
Yeah.
But we're trying to do stuff at the football club where I am more visible.
Yeah.
So-
kind of, sorry to interrupt you, but
That's right.
that kind of leads me on to my next question.
Yeah.
Like about your role evolving and being more visible.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
It is. We've talked about it. The thing, it all comes down to cost.
Yeah.
Can we afford to do it? And like I said, as a small football club, we can't, because we don't get massive amounts of funding.
Yeah.
We're trying to grow the ground. We're trying to expand it. We're still waiting for that approval, which I understand is still waiting to be heard from the council. But I think once we start getting money in and stuff like that, it will.
Yeah.
So I mean, we did a halftime kick competition years ago. We did a free kick competition where basically you had different types of balls dotted around the edge of the box.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically like 2 tennis balls, a basketball, a rugby ball, and a football. And then if you won that, you'd win a prize. The problem with that is you have to rely on a home fan and an away fan taking part.
Yeah.
The away team bringing the gifts that they could win, the away fan.
Okay. So it's like a gift from one team and a gift from the other
So
team.
if you had a gift if you had a home fan, they'd get Western stuff.
Yeah.
If you had a Bath City fan, for example. And it got really, really difficult to kind of get the other teams involved, to the point where I went, what's the point?
Yeah. Fair enough.
So we are trying to find other ways where we can do stuff that we do. So I'm currently in talks with the director, Ed, to see if we can do something called Kick It for a Ticket.
Kick it. Oh, okay.
And basically at the very beginning, they would have a little spinner and there'll be different types of balls on there. So there'll be a rugby ball, beach ball, football, tennis ball.
Yeah.
And they kick a penalty. Congratulations, you've got a free entry for the game. Edge of the box, it could be, 2 tickets, and then they can gamble to go further back. So from the halfway line, if they hit a beach ball and it goes in the goal, congratulations, you've won season ticket, for example.
Yeah.
Obviously, they can stop, but we're constantly thinking of ideas all the time.
That'd be a great, because it would be like actual like halftime entertainment for people, and it'd be a good laugh.
Yeah, and we've seen things at Bristol City where they've got the kind of giant apples from Thatcher's, and they've got to run them up down the pitch.
Right.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But again, it's all about costs.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
And I funded stuff for the football club for myself, so like all the equipment and stuff. It's all kind of stuff that I've put in, and I can't ask the club for any more. So we always kind of think, well, how can we do it?
Yeah.
Let's get a sponsor. Let's do this. So if anybody wants to come and sponsor, the media team at Weston Football Club, come and see us. It'd be great to have that discussion.
Right then, we have talked about your amazing voice and what you do. Let's go down to the game.
Yeah.
Watch a home game. In fact, this is the last home game of the season.
It is.
So we're going to get down there. Fingers crossed the weather's on our side, and we're going to get to see Tim do what he does best. So, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Here's Tim. You all right?
Yeah. How are we doing?
Good.
Hello.
Good day for it.
Yeah, I know, right?
On camera.
Lovely. Recording or filming?
Recording.
Same minute.
Yeah. So we are on the pitch. Normally all the players are on here, but Tim's let us come on. It's pretty good. Like, you get a bit of an insight to what the players see, I suppose, which is pretty exciting. I'm not a football person. I couldn't kick a ball to save my life, but it's pretty impressive. This ground. Hopefully it's going to be packed out today. Tim's going to be doing his thing on the mic. So, have you got a prediction? Score prediction?
It's difficult. I mean, we've played through a lot of times in the last couple of years, and we've always seen them as a bogey team. But I don't know. I'd like to say a 1-0 win would be perfect for Weston, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're so close to the playoffs, we can almost sniff it.
Yeah.
But we've done really well considering where we were last year. We finished on more points, or we hopefully finished on more points than we've got last year. So we just hopefully a win would be lovely.
Let's keep our fingers crossed. Just a quick question. This might sound daft, but do you have to memorise all the names?
No. Thankfully not.
Yeah. I was like, how does he do it? Like, for obviously with the away teams, obviously you probably know a lot of the home players, where you know all of them, I'm guessing.
So with the home team, we obviously get a team sheet and things like that as well. But with away teams, obviously we try not to kind of pander to it to me. I mean, when we kind of got relegated, I was a little bit relieved because there were teams that had very, very difficult names to pronounce.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, they were worse because there was a lot of trialists that came over to kind of show how good they are and stuff like that. And you have to kind of remember silent K's and things like this.
Oh, wow.
It's difficult, but you speak to the players, you get to know them. So I remember years and years ago we had a player who signed from Bristol City, and I took probably 2 days to learn to pronounce his name, and I've never done that for any other player. He had an absolute mare of a game, and he never played for Weston again. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
So there's no point. Just get on with meet the players, get on with them, and chat. So
fair enough. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Tim doing his bit, which bit excited.
Scared, if I'm honest. Always get scared. It's okay to be scared though. I think I'm in a WhatsApp group with a lot of announcers across the UK, and every single one of them will say they get nervous before the game. So it's just normal because it's a big stage that you've got to fill, and the fact that we have over 2,000 people here sometimes.
Yeah. So it's a big audience.
Absolutely. All you are though is a voice. But next season they want to try and get me out on the pitch and do half-time games. So
I think they do.
Would be scary.
I think they should get him. I think they should get Tim out half-time doing his bit. Yeah. I was just speaking to Harry. So before he goes on stage, does he have a ritual? Yeah. I'm going to ask, do you have a ritual before a game? Like something you do to kind of calm the nerves, or?
Not really. I try try and kind of give all the players a bit of that high five, handshake or what have you, just kind of calm them, because I think those guys are probably more nervous than we are.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm the voice that people hear, so if I mess up, that's not bad. If a player messes up, it could be a point, it could be a goal scored against us.
And a lot of fans shouting and booing.
Absolutely, and that's a lot more, I get the odd laugh if I say something wrong, but it's a completely different thing if you're on the pitch, I think.
Seriously, if I try kicking a ball, I would literally just fall over.
Try to be a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I reckon I could.
I was a goalkeeper.
Were you?
Yeah, I love goalkeeping.
I reckon I might be able to,
Yeah, really good.
probably not.
Today's game against Truro City. There will be a live band at 1:30 if you'd like to go and join them. Lipinski, very good band. Better than my music anyway. Boys and girls, put your hands together for the final time this season for today's teams, Truro City and your home team, Weston-super-Mare! So the teams for Truro City: number 1 in goal, Daniel Levercombe; number 2, Zachary Bell; number 3 and captain for Truro, Connor Riley Lowe; number 7, Yassine Innaya; number 8, William Dean; number 9, Tyler Harvey; number 12, Christian Oxlade-Chamberlain; number 14, Luke Jeffcott; number 18, Daniel Rooney; and number 19, Jazzy Cabia; and number 20, Ryan Law. For your Seagulls this afternoon: number 2, Kieran Thomas; number 4, Dylan Crouchy; number 6, Sam Avery; number 7, Jacob Jagger; number 8, James Dodd; number 4, Weston-super-Mare 0, Truro City 2.
So that was a fantastic game. How do you think it went?
I'm a little bit gutted, but at the end of the day, we'll be back next season. We'll be all right next season.
Nice. Right, back to the studio and we're going to chat more with Tim.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Do it. Just gonna whip this off. Keep this on. We're back. Like that, like magic. Sadly, it didn't go Weston's way.
No.
What a fantastic game. I can't believe they actually scored as well, but they got disallowed. I'm no football expert, I learnt though, because I was sat with some really nice people, and I'm like, why did they keep shouting time? Is it like half time or something? But it means like you can take your time to kick the ball. So, I learnt something. But the atmosphere was great. There were so many chants. Some of them I can't repeat on here, but it's such a good crack. Honestly, even if you're not a football lover, get down, support your local team, because it's such a good atmosphere and it's fine for young guns. If you've got kids, it's not full of like hooligans and stuff like that. Throwing stuff. It was just a great game.
The good thing about Weston is we try to be a family orientated club.
Yeah.
We've got a family. We've got a family who own it. We've got a little media family as well. And I think everyone that comes to the game are really, really happy with their experience. There have been a few instances where there has been trouble, but I think we've kind of sorted that now, because everyone goes to the football to enjoy football.
Definitely, yeah.
Not to cause a ruckus, not to be a pain in the bum, to enjoy a game of football that's cheaper than watching it on Sky, or going to go and watch Man U, or going to watch Liverpool. Come and support Weston Football Club, yeah.
Yeah, and if you live in Weston, it's on your doorstep.
It is.
You can go there, have a few beers, and basically stagger on. But
exactly.
Yeah, it was a shame. I've got to say, it was a shame, but it was such a good game. I really enjoyed it.
And the weather's been absolutely perfect for it as well. So
you can't tell now because it's gone down, but I actually burnt my head. It was honestly like, the other day it was bright red. I'd sunburnt my head because I should have really kept this on, but it was so hot. But
you lose weight if you put your hat on as well, though.
Yeah, that's it. Sweat it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it's all good.
So anyway, it's been great having you on.
Pleasure.
We've managed to get to know a bit of the voice for the Optima. I've got a few presents to give you for coming on the podcast. But before I give you that, when you're not being the voice and shouting out goals and stuff like that, you have another passion, don't you?
I do. So I am part of a couple of amateur dramatic groups.
Yeah.
So Bleedon Players, based in Bleedon, who are performing Blythe Spirit in the next couple of weeks in May. And also I'm going to be performing with Royal Operatic, also known as WODS, in Greece.
Yes. And I was lucky enough a couple of weeks ago to come along and do some promo stuff with you guys.
Yep.
And you look the nuts. I love that leather jacket you've got. It's a proper vintage one, and it looks because you're one of the T-Birds, aren't you?
I am, yeah. I never thought a 45-year-old would be playing a 17-year-old chap. So, but I've been told under strict instruction the beard's got to come off, which Charlotte, my other half, is not happy about because she prefers the beard, and I feel about 12 when I got that beard off. Yeah. As for the jacket, it was a vintage find of £10. So
was it?
Yeah.
That's honestly that's really nice. Are you? I can't remember it. Have you got T-Birds on? Are you going to paint T-Birds on?
No. So I believe we're hiring them.
Right.
Which is a shame because I really. Yeah, the first thing I thought was because I'm not much of a dancer. I like to sing and stuff like that, but I can't. I say I like to sing. Not that great. I know for a fact that if you're moving around, you're going to have lots of extra weight with the jackets. So my idea was get a jacket, learn the dances in kind of the jacket because that's going to be what you're going to be wearing. Yeah. So if you're not wearing your jacket and then all of a sudden you're putting a jacket on, you might throw your arms a little bit lefty or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
So that's just my thinking. Yeah. But yeah, I've enjoyed growing the hair for the last 4 months. It's been an absolute struggle with it because I don't like my hair anywhere near my ears.
Right.
I was going to go for your haircut, to be fair, but got told no. I know.
Trendsetter,
it is, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
So it's a case of getting it prepped. I mean, there's a lot of white under this black at the moment. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of hair dye coming out of the closet in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, really, really excited to be doing it. Sonny has been an amazing character to be. I've managed to kind of wrangle out of a few dances. So there's Born to Hand Jive. I was like, have you seen the film? And they were like, yeah. Sonny doesn't actually dance in it. He actually just sits at the back and just gets drunk.
Really?
And that's basically what I've told a couple of the choreographers. And they've watched and they've come back and gone, oh yeah, so he does. Do you want to sit at the back then? Yeah, thanks.
We won't mention any more then, just in case they're watching this and they go, actually, he's getting out of it.
I'm not getting out of it. I'm playing the part of Sonny, who is a drunk student who's so in love with Marty.
Oh, yeah.
So, but then obviously she goes off with Vince Fontaine, if you know the film. So, yeah, he's a little bit heartbroken at that point.
Yeah, fair enough. I will put in the description to this podcast a poster with a link in there. It's at the Playhouse.
It is.
So it's a pretty big venue.
I mean, I used to work at the Playhouse years and years ago. Yeah. And I've done stuff with WODS before at the Playhouse, and it is an incredible sense. I mean, with stuff for Bleeding Players, we get a capacity of 100 people. You get to see the whites of those eyes at that place. Whereas with the Playhouse, you see the first couple and then it just disappears into darkness. Yeah. Or you just see the bright spotlight. So you kind of don't see that scariness.
I think that's probably a good thing because, like, if you've got hundreds of, people staring at you, like,
it'd be a bit scary. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm hoping I'm not letting the guys at WODS down. I think I've learnt my lines. I've been off for the last couple of weeks with a chest infection, like I said earlier. And just can't wait to put that T-Bird jacket on and be Sonny for at least a couple more weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Greece. I know you WODs and my wife's in WODs, and so I'll be there. I can't wait to see it. I know you guys have been working behind the scenes really hard.
We have,
and I think it's going to be a really good show.
And again, it's about filling the stage. To be honest, with the auditorium and stuff like that. There's 663 seats at the Playhouse. Come down, fill it up, because at the end of the day, We are doing it for free to entertain the people of Weston, holiday makers, all of that. We don't, we love this hobby, this skill, because it's something to escape real life. And that's exactly what we're trying to do, but put on a bloody good show as well.
Yeah.
And I think Danny, the guy who's playing Danny, is incredible. I've known the girl who's playing Sandy for a long time, and I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've met your wife recently as well, and she's
Rizzo,
and she's absolutely smashing it. But everyone is pulling in the right direction. Owen's done a fantastic job directing it, and Annie with the music, and Harry with an eye, and Carrie doing the choreography, and and Merrill as well. It's amazing that we spend 2 nights a week to make everything perfect.
Yeah.
And I just hope I don't let them down.
You ain't gonna let them down.
I'm not.
I've been lucky enough to. I'll not lucky because I've got put up with these lot singing, but I've been able to see a few rehearsals.
You've been joining along with the singing act. Let's be honest.
I'm channeling my inner T-Bird.
Absolutely. Pink Lady, I thought.
Oh yeah. But no, it's been fantastic speaking to you. I have got. Whoa, nearly dropped him. Obviously, the white shades.
Lovely, thank you very much.
That's it. We've got you a couple of Straight Outta Weston key rings. The iconic bottle opener key ring.
Lovely.
The Straight Outta Weston logo key ring. Drum roll, please. And we've got the Straight Outta Weston mugs, freshly off the press. I've been waiting ages for these. They finally turned up, so we can start giving our guests Straight Outta Weston mugs as well.
Beautiful. I don't think it will work with the T-Bird, sadly. It'd look good though.
Would you be able to try and sneak them on?
I'll try and sneak them on.
Because I'm watching the last show.
I will see what I can do.
So,
I know what your wife's like though, so she might scare me into not wearing them.
Yeah. Laura, please, just
once. Just once.
Yeah.
See what
But yeah. There you go.
Thank you very much, my friend.
No worries. And a massive thank you to you guys for watching. Thank you to everyone who comments, shares, likes. Appreciate it, honestly. Massive thank you to my sponsors. And just, thank you to everyone who watches. So I'll see you on the next one. See you later, guys. Thanks very much. And check Greece out.
And come and support Weston.
And Weston.
Straight out of Weston, shout to the town. Weston-super-Mare, where we hold you down. High energy vibes, we wearing the crown. Podcast kings, no need to frown. Weston-super-Mare, dropping gems, no frontin'. Speaking on the real, keep it thumping. 15 seconds, got the beat pumping. Hit play, now we always up to something.